Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. This is Dream Another Day Tarot, and this is going to be a reading for whoever needs to hear it. Please keep in mind these are general readings, so may or may not resonate with you, so just take what does and leave the rest for somebody else, okay? Please also keep in mind that I use gender neutral language as much as possible on my channel in order to make my readings more inclusive, so just place yourself where you fit. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. I really appreciate all of you guys. Also wanted to say thank you. If you're a new viewer, please consider subscribing before you leave. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this message. Definitely sensing some like kind of fed up energy, you know what I mean? A little bit of like anger, but it's kind of like it's a boundary setting anger, if that makes sense. You're setting boundaries to kind of sneaky, strange energy. And just keep in mind that the past does inform our present, okay? But it doesn't have to dictate our future. So please keep in mind that there may be some past residual energy that's kind of causing you to flare up in a way and kind of put your guard up and be suspicious. That's just the message that's coming through. So try not to let the past cause you to be harsh with people in your present, but let it inform your present so that you can be wise and create boundaries for yourself without blocking the flow, right, of life, because you want to be in touch with flow so that things can continue to go well, so that you can continue to heal from the past and move forward into a brighter future, right? That should be the mindset, okay? All right, so let's deal with whatever sticky energies kind of coming out here. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We're deeply grateful. We know we couldn't do this without you. So please help guide the collective spirit for their highest good, and please bless us and protect us as we move forward into this reading. Okay, we've got two cards coming out here. Two of Pentacles and the Death card in reverse. The first thought that came to my mind when I saw those two cards together is not letting something go, okay? Now don't shoot the messenger. Not letting something go and kind of teetering between like, should I, shouldn't I, right? So, and that's, I mean, sometimes that's okay. Sometimes we need to think about what we want to do. Eight of Wands in reverse, but you're not taking action and you're not communicating. So what do we have? Four of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So you may be afraid of losing what it is that you've built so far. So you're kind of clinging on to what has kind of served you in the past. Let's get a little more information. Should I or shouldn't I? That's the energy. Five of Wands in reverse. So you want to end internal conflict. You don't want to have conflict with others. So that might be why you're considering, like, should I just like end this situation, or should I continue to try and move forward and find balance and resolve whatever it is that's going on here? Because I feel like for some of you, Hermit in reverse at the bottom of the deck, it's like you want to face things, right? You want to face the music. You don't want to hide from making a decision, right? So you're kind of in this moment of uncertainty, like, which direction do I take? How do I move forward? And so you may be kind of just in this place of uncertainty, but you're definitely, look, the Tower in reverse, you're trying to avoid catastrophe, you know, but you may be preventing something from ending here. Okay, Spirit, any more information on this situation? Because that can be a very frustrating place to be in. I understand the frustration now. It makes more sense. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so you may be a very independent person, okay? Maybe even hyper independent, meaning that you self-isolate and you overwork yourself and you don't like taking help because you're concerned that it's a form of control potentially, and you don't want that. So you're kind of like, I can do this all on my own. You know what I mean? I can do this all by myself. And so part of you may want to end this situation, whatever it may be, out of this place of kind of like, screw you, I don't need you, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, I don't want to have conflict with somebody, so I don't want to compromise. It could be a lack of wanting to compromise, Eight of Swords in reverse, you just don't want to feel stuck. And you're not stuck, okay? Five of Pentacles. So you may actually choose to walk away from something and leave something out in the cold. You may feel left out in the cold by something, or you don't feel like you're getting your fair share. Look at that, Queen of Wands in reverse. It's kind of like you don't like when people mistreat you. And this is what I'm getting. Queen of Cups in reverse. It makes you shut down because you're like, look, you know what I mean? I don't need any kind of connections that make me question myself, that rock my confidence, or that block me off, or that I have to set boundaries within a connection. And then I am kind of like creating this wall of ice around myself because I'm around people, or, you know, I'm at a job, or I'm at a situation, I'm in a situation that makes me feel, you know, in any way just like uncomfortable, where that you're setting all these boundaries because you know that that's not good for your energy flow, right? So you're kind of like, I think I'm gonna go it alone. You know, I just need to be alone. I need to not be around other people because it's fucking with my energy. And so you're like, look, I'm not stuck here. I'm not stuck in this situation. I don't wanna be stuck in this situation. Look at that, King of Pentacles. So you're kind of taking on this more masculine energy, and masculine isn't always, you know, indicative of a man, right? This is just being more assertive, okay? And the way that I like to explain masculine and feminine energy on this channel, if you're new here, I'm sure most of my viewers are, because I am a smaller channel, which, by the way, please click those buttons if you're enjoying the reading. The way I like to explain masculine and feminine energy is that there are certain qualities or certain I would say actions, behavioral traits that are associated with masculine or feminine energy. It's not necessarily indicative of, you know, that we have this umbrella where that, oh, all of these behavioral traits are masculine and all these behavioral traits are feminine. Like, that's how we've labeled things. I don't necessarily think that that's the way it is. That's just the best way that we know how to describe different energies, right? So we kind of have labeled them and put them in a box, right? And then we associate masculine energy with men and feminine energy with women, right? And the reason why I say it like that is because I don't believe that that's the way it is either. I think that we have human, okay, traits, and there's different energies that are all in and of themselves just behavioral traits, okay? Or we decide to behave in a certain way. We decide, you know, aggression or passivity, right? Doesn't mean aggression is masculine and passivity is feminine. It's just behaviors, right? So that's the way that I, you know, so I describe, when I describe masculine, it's what we typically would see, you know, or kind of associate with masculinity. But that's like just so that I can describe what I'm saying, you know what I mean? But I may even start to kind of move away from that a little bit. But anyway, so I just wanted to describe that you may be taking a more assertive, okay, approach. And wow, look at that, Devil in reverse wanting to show itself too. And you don't want to be bound to anything, okay? You really don't. Nine of Swords in reverse, you don't want to have anxiety. Anything that causes you anxiety, makes you question your self-confidence, or makes you feel bound, stuck, uncertain, in conflict. You don't want anything like that, okay? So this is why you're deciding, I feel like, to go it alone. You're deciding to say, you know what? I don't really need this, whatever it is, and I'm just gonna move on to something that makes me feel better than this. I don't wanna feel like this. Knight of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So, a couple of things are standing out to me with this message. The first thing is, there could be something that's been a long time coming. Look at that, Page of Wands. Something that's a long time coming, okay? Maybe you have really not experienced a lot of stability in your life, or a lot of reliability from others, or people who've stuck around in your life for a significant portion of time. Part of it could be because you walk away when things are conflictive or make you feel a certain way, which, like I said, the past informs our present, doesn't have to dictate our future, right? So there may have been people who did subject you to that kind of thing, and it was uncomfortable and it was unfair. and that impacted you. And so now your tolerance level is very low, okay, for anything resembling that. So it doesn't mean that necessarily everybody who makes you feel that way, or I would say if you're triggered by certain things and those feelings come up, it doesn't necessarily mean it's because those people, places, or things are doing that to you to that degree. It could resemble it, or it could be similar but much less severe, and you're kind of ready to just, you know what I mean, cut it off, because you're like, absolutely not. I'm not going to be neglected. I'm not going to be talked down to. I'm not going to be treated like I don't matter. I'm not going to be controlled. Like, there's a lot of things that can create, you know, flare up, so to speak, of these triggers, right? So Spirit's saying, this has been a long time coming for you to have something reliable and stable and committed in your life, whether that's a reliable job, a marriage, you know, or a partnership, or even solid family, okay, that doesn't treat you like garbage or walk away from you when things are tough or when there's disagreements. This is about reliability, something stable and solid that will stand the test of time, okay? Now, what I see with this is that this is something that you have been wanting and praying for, and it's been coming along, okay? It's been coming down the pike for you. It's just taken a long time for it to get here. So now that it's coming, okay, you may be starting to get a little bit impatient or a little frustrated, like, is it ever going to manifest? Is it ever going to be real here? Five of Pentacles. I feel really abandoned, left out in the cold by the universe, you know what I mean? And I just want to remind you, look, three of coins. It takes cooperation, you know? It takes cooperation from both parties, and all parties, really. One second, y'all. So it's not all on the other person, right? Or other people, or job, or whatever it is. It's on you too, to meet in the middle so that you can create this cooperative, long-standing relationship, right? So the other thing that I wanted to remind you of is to recognize in all the ways, okay, that the universe has showed up for you, in all the ways that you are being fulfilled or satisfied or taken care of in some way, right? And even if that means you working your ass off all on your own, okay, to be okay. Just try and focus on the positive things, okay? Because I feel like this is coming in for you. The Magician, yeah, you're capable. You're totally capable. You've been calling this in for quite some time, okay? So, Queen of Wands in reverse, it's like you're starting to, in a sense, here's the Moon, okay, at the bottom of the deck. In a sense, you are starting to lose a little bit of confidence in yourself here. And it's okay, it happens to the best of us, right? You're kind of starting to feel like, you know, can I do this on my own? You know, am I capable of building this empire, right? Or this kingdom on my own? And Spirit's saying you don't have to do it on your own, okay? But just realize that it's almost like, okay, I'm getting a couple messages. First message is, don't lose faith in yourself because you are doing a damn good job, okay? You're trying to make wise decisions for yourself. You're trying to prevent repeated patterns. You are, you know, giving yourself a moment to make decisions that will impact your life, okay? You are trying to make sure that you only are in connection with people who are reliable and stable and treat you well, which is, I mean, amazing, you know, and that should be pretty standard, but unfortunately it's not. A lot of people put up with, you know, bad behavior from others and mistreatment in order to get whatever it is that, you know, the relationship is built upon, whether it's like, you know what I mean, a monetary exchange, or it's sexual, or it's romantic, or it's familial, whatever it is, you're willing to say, you know what, whatever benefits that I may get from this connection is not worth the negative impacts that it has on me and my life. And that's admirable for you to be brave enough to say, you know what, I'm willing to walk away. You know what I mean? I'm willing to walk away from these situations, people, whatever. You know, there's better things out there for me, and it's scary, and in some ways I'm nervous. Look at that, Queen of Pentacles coming out with the Five of Pentacles. It's like, even in the midst of you not having everything it is that you need, you may be having some anxiety about that, some stress. You still realize, like, look, I'm fully capable, okay? You need to remember that, because that's, I think, one of your biggest struggles right now. That might be part of the reason why you're in this kind of like, should I, shouldn't I energy, because you're like, can I make it on my own? Should I, you know, should I, what's the word? Should I sacrifice, you know, certain aspects of this that I feel are really, like, I really deserve better? But should I accept that and instead continue forward in this, whatever it is, in order to get the received benefit? And that's coming from a place, let me just say, and also, like I said, don't shoot the messenger, y'all. This is just the message, and this is important for you. It's coming from a place of a lack of self-confidence, okay? You're worried that if you decide to walk away from this, that it's going to be kaput, right? Like, as in your life, you know, Five of Pentacles, you're going to be left out in the cold. So you're concerned that that you may be walking away out of resentment because of past experiences, and you don't want to screw up what you've got going on, because you're like, what if there isn't something better? Okay, this is coming from a place of fear and a lack of self-confidence. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, because here's the thing, guys, whether or not that's true, which I personally don't think it is, I don't think it is true. I think that there's something better coming down the line for you, and you may feel that, and that might be why you're even in this place of should I, shouldn't I? Because, you know, if it was obvious you had no other option, you would probably be able to stomach it and kind of bite the bullet, right? Because there's always going to be times in life where we have to do that, you know, where it's like, I really hate this job, but I need to pay the bills, so I'm gonna, you know, try and strategically remove myself from this situation by looking for another job first, right? Or if you need to move, it's not like you pack everything up and go walking down the street. It's like, you're like, okay, I need to put in a 30-day notice and find another place and save for a deposit and all that sort of thing. So there's sometimes it takes a little bit of time, right, for us to pivot into a better situation. So I'm just saying that you may be in this position where it's kind of taking a leap of faith because maybe you don't have that other thing yet, you know? So there's part of you that's kind of like, you know, should I bite the bullet and just keep working through this thing, or should I let it go, you know? Because I think that you're just a little bit afraid. So here's the thing, all of that is very logical, okay? I'm not telling you to not think that way. I actually think that it's wise that you're thinking that way. But here's the thing, if you had full confidence in yourself, just imagine, okay? Imagine what that would feel like if you had full confidence in yourself. You had faith that there were more opportunities out there for you, and you weren't afraid of losing out on something because you knew, like, you had faith that there was something else better coming for you because you deserve it, okay? Because you're capable of it. What would that feel like? What kind of decisions would you make if you felt that way about yourself? It's a hard place to get to. I'm not saying like, snap out of it, you know, you need to be more confident. It's like, just imagine how you would feel if you knew that you could have whatever you want. I mean, just to have the attitude, okay? I know it's not like logical, or it's not, to be that entitled is like somewhat, in some ways it's a little bit lame to be like that. But okay, it's not about thinking you're better than other people. And it's not about saying, well, I can have whatever I want, so fuck you. It's more like, what if you believed that you were worthy, okay, of everything that you want? And alongside that, if it makes you feel better, if you believed that everybody was worthy of everything that they wanted too, you know, we didn't have to hold each other down or win at the expense of others. Like, imagine a world where we all could have everything we wanted and it didn't conflict with the needs and wants of others. And it doesn't make us a bad person to have what we want, you know? And this is getting into a whole nother philosophical thing, but I think it's kind of important because we need to learn how to think positively without guilt, right? Because we need to learn how to want and desire and go get the things that we want. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Without having to compromise our compassion for others and recognize that we're all equal. And it's not like I deserve whatever I want and you don't, you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's more like if you had the confidence and recognize that if this person can have it, so can I. You know what I mean? Instead of thinking, well, if this person can fail and you know, be screwed, then I could fail too. You know, it's like, well, yeah, the wheel is always in spin. It's all based on our decisions and our energy and our thoughts, the way we think. You know what I mean? It's all connected. It's our decisions, our actions, our thoughts. They're all connected, you know? So basically what I'm saying is that try to get into this place of self-confidence. Work on that, because I feel like that's the underlying kind of like, well, can I ask for what I want? Can I demand it? You know what I mean? Look at that. Okay, Judgment at the bottom of the deck. Okay, that's important because what I'm really seeing here, what is this card? Ooh, interesting, very interesting. Okay, because you feel like you're under judgment, you may be putting other people under judgment, judging yourself. I mean, I'm seeing that as like you're evaluating yourself, you're evaluating your belief system, you're evaluating other people around you and their belief system, whether or not they're being honest with you, whether or not they're good for you to be around, right? To be in connection with, to work with, whatever. You're evaluating everything, okay? This is about putting everything under a microscope, really, really diving deep, like dissecting, opening up, looking at, and saying, okay, it's time for me to make decisions. I need to decide if I'm going in the right direction. And I need to decide if I really truly believe that I'm worthy, okay, of everything that it is that I am working for, right? And how do I create a belief system that is not contradictory, okay? Because we're trying to ease and relieve conflict, inner conflict. So it starts within us. So we need to reconstruct our belief system so that it's not constantly on top of itself, okay, fighting, right? So we have the Hierophant in reverse, okay? So this is about instability, unstable relationships, unstable sources of income. This is about traditional structures, okay? Not, that we do not have traditional structures in our life. This is for whoever this reading is for, right? That I feel like you don't have this. You don't have these traditional structures in your life, you know, and the first thing I'm thinking of is like, you know, having a father, okay, in your life, or a grandfather, or a husband, or whatever, okay? And like I didn't say that at the beginning of this reading, but I usually do. If specific genders or things like that come up, I'm gonna say it. So really what I'm getting here is like this traditional structures of family, you know, marriage, career. It's like, I feel like these things, you may not have these foundational things in your life, okay? And that's just, if that's your reality, it's your reality and you're working with it, okay? So what I'm getting here is because of that, we have the Fool coming out in the reverse. You may be afraid to move forward. It causes this hesitance because you don't feel like you have a safety net. You don't feel like you have anybody to rely upon, anyone to lean on when things get tough or if things go south. You're just completely self-reliant and it's creating a little bit of fear, okay? And that's normal. We are made as humans to have structure and have relationship, right? And to have community. So when we don't have that, it can be very destabilizing, okay? So we're afraid to take risks. And this is really, really unfortunate, okay, if this is your situation, because you deserve to have that stability and that safety net, right? And it has held you back in a lot of ways. It's getting so deep, y'all. It's held you back in a lot of ways from believing in yourself and having faith that you can reach for the stars and make these really, really bold and confident decisions, because you're kind of like, I am the only one I have to rely on. If I fail, then my whole life falls apart. And, you know, I don't know if I can do this because I don't have anybody in my corner telling me that I can, you know, who knows me like I know myself, right? And this would usually be people who've known us our whole lives, right? Family, friends, partners, whatever, who've known us for a long time, who have faith in us, who, you know, can support us and encourage us, you know, to go after what it is that we desire, you know. So it's like we don't have that support, so it creates this level of fear here, okay? With the moon in reverse, this is about uncovering and really, like I said, looking at the things that are in our subconscious that hold us back, the things that are in our, you know, our mind. The moon always to me makes me think of the celestial kind of like dream time, subconscious realms, the things beneath the surface, in the darkness to a degree. And it's kind of like you're realizing like, wow, this is really repressed feelings coming from the past that have impacted my ability to feel confident in going after what it is that I want, because I'm afraid of failing. You know what I mean? So we have the Ten of Swords in reverse here. So it's kind of like you're afraid to end things that even resemble something somewhat stable in your life, you know? Because you're like, I don't have any level of stability from others that I can really rely on. And so to a certain degree, it's like you tend to hold on to things that resemble some type of, you know, stability, even if there's other things that also resemble neglect or mistreatment, right? So these are really important things to, these are important things to look at, okay? Because what I'm getting here is there is something stable coming, okay? Something that is actually reliable, not resembles reliability, and so you fearfully cling to it because you're afraid of, you know, the failure, and you're afraid of being alone. You're not sure if you can do it. Here's the thing, is that if you've made it this far, okay, doesn't matter how old you are, hopefully you're over 18 if you're watching my readings. Listen, if you have made it this far, okay, you have been doing it on your own, as much as of a disadvantage as that has been, okay? So this is about having faith. This is about having faith. Okay, look, I fear that you will reject me, and I've been struggling, just came out. So again, this lack of self-confidence, okay, that's something that you need to work on, you know, like with like love, I say that. Okay, we're gonna pull a couple oracle cards and close this reading out. Y'all, this has been a deep reading. This is getting into some stuff that, you know, is really challenging. It's really challenging stuff. And I think you're in this place of, like I said, evaluation. You're looking at this and going, wow, you know, my whole life has been marked by this lack of stability, you know, these lack of traditional structures. And, you know, I'm tired. I don't know if I can do this alone anymore. So you're kind of like, whatever it is that you have been holding on to, it's like, this is really taking a lot of inner strength for you to make these decisions on your own and to decide what it is that you really want for yourself and make room for it, by having faith and by saying no to things that are not healthy and are not good. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so y'all, the thing is that this is some of the deeper, more difficult, challenging stuff that comes up in these readings. But I also want to say that there are a lot of positive things coming your way too. And that was one of the first messages. Something long desired is coming your way. Something that is actually reliable, okay? So you don't have to be in conflict about anything here. You are doing fine. You're doing a great job. This is just something to look at so that you can make wiser decisions moving forward. And this is something that you know about yourself. You know what I mean? So you have the gift, okay, coming out. Very clear message. There is, I feel like, something like a blessing coming your way, okay? Next, you have the art of seduction. I feel like this could be a romantic connection, okay? I was kind of getting that with this Hierophant. It could be, someone that you might end up in a committed connection with, okay? Next, you have no rain today, okay? So this is about thinking positive. This is about, saying, look, I recognize that I, have struggles. I have things within me that need, to be healed and comforted. And, it makes life more challenging for me, and that sucks. But, I deserve to be happy, so I'm going to focus on the good. And instead of looking at the clouds, I'm going to look at the blue sky, right? And next out, you have bloom. So I feel like this is really a time for you when you are going to be, you're going to be stepping out, and it's kind of like these parts of you that have been, repressed, underappreciated, that have not been nurtured, okay, is the word I'm hearing, in the way that they should have been, okay, to help give you secure attachment styles, right? This could be stemming from childhood. Secure attachment styles, self-confidence, the ability to go after what it is that you want without fear that you're going to fail. We all have fear of failure, but this is like on a different level, because you're like, if I fail, then that's kind of my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a safety net here. So you may, I'm just saying that if you did not get those things, I feel like are going to be getting those things now. Okay, and I feel like that you are going to be able to bloom and step into your self-confidence and step into who you are, deep down, and you're going to become the person that I feel like, I don't want to say would have been had you gotten everything that it is you deserved, but I'm just saying, like, the type of person that you are going to become is going to be even better, because in a lot of ways it's like you have now deep dived into what this whole thing about an insecure attachment style and instability really is. And it's going to give you tools that I feel like other people don't have. It doesn't make you better than other people, but just hear me out. It's like, I thought I had dropped a card earlier, sorry. It's like you're gonna get all of that now as an adult, and you're going to appreciate it so much more than, somebody who just expects that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's kind of like, it means a lot to you, and it heals you in this like really deep way, and it's beautiful, and it gives you a chance to actually experience, you know what I mean? It's a gift, it's a blessing, and you're gonna see it that way, and you don't have to do this alone. And I know that your confidence seems to be rocked a little bit, and it could be because of this uncertainty, you know what I mean, of should I, shouldn't I, but you're going to make those decisions, and you should make those decisions off of faith, okay, and self-confidence. And I know those things are hard to have, especially if you are resonating with this reading. So just have faith. I feel like this really is coming in for you. I can feel it, and you know, it's a blessing and you deserve it. You've always deserved it, by the way, you know. No one, we can't really ever understand why things happen the way they do, right? It's hard to understand why. And maybe it's not about why, maybe it's just about the outcome, right? So maybe the outcome doesn't even matter as much as the experience, you know? Basically what I'm saying is that the past is gone. The past was probably not fair from the looks of things. And, you know, you deserve better. And I really hope that you know that and that you make decisions based off of that knowledge, right? And even, you know, you could communicate that, you can make decisions at your own pace. You know, I feel like you have everything you need moving forward to accept and receive this blessing. And just, you know, have faith that it's coming, right? So, wow, this was a kind of a tough reading, y'all. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoyed it or you got something out of it. If you did, hit those buttons. One thing I ask of you, please, because that's pretty much the only way to grow a channel on YouTube. And I've been doing this for a while, but I'm new-ish to YouTube. It's been, you know, a couple years now. So if you guys, yeah, if you enjoy my readings, please do give me a follow, subscribe to my channel, drop me a comment, let me know. And I wish you guys all the best. It's a really tough one. So, you know, I have faith there's something really beautiful coming for you. So, yeah. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.